shows are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Welcome to the Edventures in Tech podcast, talking the latest tips and trends in educational technology to innovate and engage your students. Here are your hosts, Andrew and Dan.
Back and better. This is episode 56 of the Adventures in Tech podcast, live at NiceGate 2024. I am one of your hosts, Andrew.
And I'm Dan.
And we're excited you will have joined us on this venture as always. It has been jam-packed shows and a lot of fun. New venue at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino here. We left the Rochester, and we're going to welcome back to the show, first and foremost, our good, esteemed boss, Art.
Hey folks, what's going on today? How's
Back at it, and our good friend and partner here with Bluum Technologies is Joe. Hey Joe, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Now, Joe, what do you think of, what are your overall opinions and impressions of the new change of venue?
I'm loving the new venue. I think it's doing great things for the show.
I love it. What about you, Art? What are you thinking?
Oh, this has been fantastic. I think Joe's absolutely right. This has been great. The Turning Stone Resort staff has been phenomenal. The layout is very nice. I can't wait to be back next year already. I'm already excited.
It's a great event space, and of course, having the casino right over there doesn't hurt things for those who are so inclined.
Hurts your pocket. Your pocket's hurting, right?
Yeah, it was.
Or
it
maybe
was
not.
for a bit.
Maybe it's not. You know,
clawed back last night.
That's it. So, Dan and I have to, express our sincere thanks and gratitude to Bluum for always taking care of us, setting up some space with us. So, Joe, I want to thank you and Omar and your entire staff for that. First and foremost, we couldn't do this without you guys. That's definitely. And then I do want to talk about Bluum, and then we're going to talk about what you guys are really putting with the A+, Chromebooks. But tell everybody if they don't know about Bluum and your mission in the ed tech space.
Absolutely. So essentially what Bluum is a value-added reseller. And what that means for those of you who don't know is we do basically everything inside of education with a ton of great partners. So all the top-tier manufacturers partner with us, and we partner with schools to help you solve your problems. Every school is unique. We've got a solution to try and work with you, and that's ideally what we're trying to do, is become a partner. We're not just a box pusher. We don't want to just sell you a box and say good luck, but we want to really get down with you, learn what some of your problems are, and solve them as efficiently as possible.
So I want to follow up on that because we really want to talk about the new Chromebook revolution program, I should say, that you guys have that Bluum has actually put out. And what I mean by that is we know that budgets are getting tighter for school districts. The pandemic, there was an influx of cash flow, right? Because of the distance and the pandemic learning. And now, the way the economy has gone over the last couple years, we want to talk a little bit about the A+ line of Chromebooks and what inspired Bluum to create that A+ line of Chromebooks.
For sure. Yeah, like you said, we're definitely seeing across the nation shrinking budgets, and a lot of these devices that were put in place to allow schools to get to one-to-one, those are almost gone. So the life cycle of those units are coming to an end, the budgets are shrinking, schools are clamoring, what are they going to do? So ideally, and realistically, they're left with two options. It's either look at some sort of refresh on a warranty, keep these devices kicking, which is something we can offer as well, or if they are in dire need to replace units, they can look at our A+ recertified Chromebooks. So what that allows these schools to do is really stretch their budgets. They're shrinking, we're going to help them maximize it. So what we do is we take off-lease and refurbished Chromebooks, put them through a multi-step process, ensure they feel like they're brand new, put them in the hands of educators and students for around 30 to 50% savings.
Wow, that's monumental. I mean, I don't control any budgets, but I'm sure Art can speak to that as far as the cost savings.
Well, I'm glad we have the perspective of a tech director here to have the conversation about this product.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, since the pandemic, I just live in Chromebooks. Like, you guys know, you're right outside my office. It is Chromebooks in, Chromebooks out. Everybody's asking for more Chromebooks all the time. We're all absolutely right. Budgets are looking different going into the next year. A lot of us are starting to look at that right now. It is the 25-26 budget season.
That's wild.
It's, right? Everybody's still trying to get through 2024. I'm already in 25-26. But just trying to figure out these budgets right now and what the landscape's going to look like. And again, we're school districts. there's not always a lot of money there. We need to stretch that dollar everywhere we can. This new A+ program is going to help us do that.
Absolutely. And it goes a bit beyond that as well, because as you all know, Chromebooks have an end of life cycle,
right,
which is dictated by Google. So obviously these Chromebooks, which we're going to be deploying in schools, which we have already, which we still are meeting the criteria to allow for at least 4 more years of use, slapped with a 4-year warranty on top of it.
Oh,
so the devices are completely covered. If there was any inclination, or if anyone's worried that these units aren't going to last, our warranty really ensures that they're covered. The ROI is completely maximized, and it's worry-free warranty for them.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question on that? So let's say you said 4 years, right? We understand that. And it has to then be warranted. Do they just get another A++ Chromebook? Like if it couldn't, whatever the case may be, the Chromebook is broken, do they just replace it with another A++?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Joe, I'm going to ask a follow-up question. Do the A++s also come with a case, or is it just the device and the warranty?
So we offer options. So
Okay.
if you're looking to spend as little as possible, we'll send you a Chromebook with the Google license, and away you go. That comes with a standard 1-year warranty. For just a little bit more, we'll give you a 3-year or 4-year ADP warranty, cases included.
Excellent. Now, as a customer and having plenty of Chromebooks out there and a number of students, I appreciate the warranty. I've used the warranty weekly. I got to say, you guys do a fantastic job with that, and it's definitely worth the funding.
The case that comes with the ADP is actually it works in 2 ways. So we're obviously protecting the device that's going to be in the hands of students, and we all know how students treat their devices. Mm-hmm. They do not care.
Yeah, exactly.
Slap them into the bag, slap them on the desks, break them apart, like you said, on a weekly basis. Yep. But it works both ways. So we're putting a case on these Chromebooks, and we're helping you guys to limit the amount of warranty claims, but in turn that helps us as well. So it works for both of us. It's a partnership where we're dealing with less RMAs, what we're seeing, and so are you guys. So that means more working Chromebooks in the hands of students and less on our benches.
Fair point.
So, hearing everything that's discussed and at that price point that you have going out there per device seems like a real game changer. So you mentioned that you have been working with schools deploying these A+ Chromebooks. What kind of feedback have you gotten back from those schools you've been working with?
There are schools that's all they want to buy now. So once they've got their hands on these things, they are astounded at the level of the recertification process that we put on these things. We're actually painting these. We're UV printing these. We're acquiring new plastics to cover any cracks. So we're really going as far as we need to ensure that this device in the hands of a student is obviously going to do what it's intended, but then aesthetically it's just as pleasing.
So from what I'm getting, that last little bit of conversation that you just had, these are not your typical refurbished Chromebooks.
No, they are not.
There's a 200-step manufacturing process that goes into this?
Absolutely. We bring them in and we put them through the most rigorous testing that we can. So, it's A+, right? So the way it works is we get a tremendous amount of Chromebooks that are coming in, and we're seeing probably about 60% of them failing that A+ grade. 60 to 70% are failing the A+. So we're taking all these Chromebooks in, and we're only vetting them and giving the schools the best of the best.
So a question, I believe, I want to confirm, there's 3 models, right? And they go about, warranty aside, about $150, right? Is that the price point?
That's correct, yes. So
and it's the HP Chromebook, right?
Yep.
There's an HP Chromebook, there's a Lenovo, and there's a Dell.
That's correct.
All right.
So currently, as it stands, as of this moment, we've got stock of the HP 11 G8 Chromebooks. It's the Education Edition, so it's ruggedized, as well as the Lenovo. The Dells we're anticipating to come around 2025, start of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all getting refurbed in the 200 steps right now.
That's correct, yeah. It doesn't happen overnight.
No, it's got to be just a long process to be able to kind of go through all these, because you don't know what kind of stuff kids do to these devices, right?
For sure.
I've seen some art. I know, but the amount of things, the littlest things on a computer, a chip, a key, some little broken piece, it's a lot to go through.
I was just thinking of the fingerprints in the cookie crumbs.
Yeah.
I'm sure there would be a ton of stories. If we started polling some of our guys in the warehouses, then they would tell us some pretty funny finds after they took these things out.
Yeah.
But you guys should see the actual warehouse itself. It's crazy. There's conveyor belts and multiple stations. These guys have like 6-7 monitors in front of them. Diagnostics everywhere. It's insane.
Are they taking like the Chromebooks completely apart
Yes,
and then just kind of rebuilding it?
basically. Yeah, that's like a Frankenstein.
I hate to say it, but that's like my Chromebook nightmare. That is my ideal.
Frankenstein, though. I like
That's what
that.
Art wakes up with sleep paralysis.
I deal with so many broken Chromebooks as it is. Having that many coming at me, I'd be done.
But like honestly, like Art brings up a good point. Like that device management and that maintenance that he goes through on a daily basis. How does Bluum assist and simplify the responsibilities for these tech directors in dealing with it?
Oh, you mean from like a warranty perspective?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as simple as possible. I mean, anyone who deals with Bluum understands that it's a phone call or an email to your rep, and it gets taken care of.
No, I will say as a customer, it's literally drop an email. I get a response back within the hour. It's like, here's your packaging slips, drop them and go. So I literally, when I've had boxes come in, I keep them to the side. When I got to drop them back out, the boxes have these great like bubble sleeves. Drop them in, tape it up, put the shipping label on. Off they go. They're back in a couple weeks. Sometimes it's depending on what happened to it, it's a brand new one in box, ready to rock and roll. It is fantastic.
A++. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Our goal at the end of the day is to simplify your job. Like you guys have got so much on your plate already. Warranty should be as simple as possible.
Right.
So we give you multiple avenues. Like I said, phone call, email. We've got a portal. You can even bypass me and just email my customer service team directly.
Never. We'll never bypass you.
But whatever you want to do, that's what I tell my customers, right? You got enough on your plate. Let's simplify this and move on to the next big thing.
I just want to add on, and having that relationship with the tech directors and the people doing the purchasing is great. But I'm also, do you have any kind of relationships or opportunities once those devices gets into the hands of the students or the teachers when they're using them in the schools? Is there any kind of PD or things that Bluum has available for the devices and all the different things you put out there?
Yeah, absolutely. We understand that in order to lead an effective classroom, you've got to understand the technology that you're working with. So Bluum has an amazing professional development team that we utilize across the board, across the country. A lot of schools take clear advantage of this, put it to use, and they see tremendous results inside the classroom. And it's important. We understand that you've got to use this. You've got to use these devices effectively, right? So we really help to ensure that there's a level of understanding there for the teachers and the staff to maximize the use of these products.
Awesome.
When it comes to the administrator's point, and Art can, he can definitely chime in on this. We know that, Bluum A++ is going to be a smart choice for budgeting. How about sustainability? We know it's about 4 years, right?
Right.
So in theory, is it okay, I'm going to purchase how many ever A+ and sustain it for 4 years. Let's say there's no warranty issues whatsoever, right? But then what goes on from there? Like sustainability, then what's the next step? Like, do we do another A+, or where are we at, you think, at that point?
So there's a few options, and the most popular one, in my opinion, is the removal of said devices by Bluum. So we've got a program called our IT Asset Disposition Program. And essentially what we do is we go into schools, school districts, we take a look at a pile of their aging assets, pick them up, and put dollars back into the hands of the administration.
Recycling at its finest.
Absolutely.
Going green, I love it. Now, A+ is new, right? It like pretty much just launched. How frequently? How recently, I should say?
We were informed about this project about a month and a half ago.
Okay, so pretty much
brand spanking new.
And has there been a lot of interest in it yet, or is it just starting to ramp up? I mean, I know it's kind of the holidays, everything's going on, but
yeah, there's this time of the year we don't typically tend to see a great deal of purchases on the refresh side. It's done over the summer, right? Schools are closed, we can get in there and rip and replace. However, that being said, this has definitely garnered a significant amount of interest from everyone I've spoken to, and from what I've heard with my colleagues. There's a ton of interest here. I mean, you're looking at $150 for a Chromebook.
That's nothing.
How do you beat that? I mean, okay, yes. Is it the absolute latest and greatest? No. But is it going to do exactly what you need it to do in the hands of a student? Yes.
That's the key,
That's
right?
the key.
That is the key. I mean, we know that Chromebooks and prices are going to fluctuate, but we need to make sure that as we, the concern that keeps coming up for the field of education is the digital divide and access to equitable technology across all kinds of districts and demographics. $150 is, I mean, I won't speak for art, but it's like a steal. It is a steal, right? To give the kids access to a device that will allow them to kind of even out the playing field. $150 is pretty darn good.
Absolutely. I mean, I spend more than double that per device. Knowing my current stock, the HP G8EE, the educational one, we have like 3,500, 4,000 of those devices currently. So bringing these in, and those devices are on the same license lifetime
as these A+ ones.
As these A+ ones.
Correct. Yep.
So bringing those in right now, it's not going to change anything. For me, it's not going to change my recycling schedule either, because those devices are going to be
Recycle
going
at the same
out.
time.
So if you really think about it, you're bringing them in right now. You got to swap them out in 4 to 5 years. You're swapping out your other ones in 4 to 5 years. If you do an A+ again, then now you just cut your cost.
Yep.
So
and this program's not going away as well, right? So it's going to grow and evolve as we see products grow and evolve. So the next iteration of this is going to be the HP 11 G9s.
Right.
So it just keeps moving up with the industry. As HP releases new, we pick up the old, refurbish, recycle, recertify, get them in the hands.
And when you're looking at the specs of Chromebooks, they honestly have not changed that much since the initial one came out. I still have my original Samsung One Chromebook that was the very first one released on the private market. Had Google not put a end-of-life licensing piece on it, that device would have still continued to work just like everything else.
Absolutely. We're talking about a 10% processor performance increase
Right.
to justify a new model when, I mean, the backbone of Chrome is its simplicity
Yes.
and its lack of necessity for processing power. So
Right, and like one of my frustrations, and I brought this up a bunch lately, is that my frustration, and it's not just Google, it's a lot of the tech companies right now, they're putting these end-of-life dates on their equipment, basically to sell more product. The problem with that is it's costing school districts more and more because now that end of life is a shorter term. Going in this direction is actually helping us, even though they're still confined to that term. We now are using because we're using these A+ refurbished, that is product that's not going into waste somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because my other biggest concern with these end-of-life pieces is that's a lot of e-waste that we're putting out there into the environment, right?
Exactly.
Now you got Bluum that's doing this full refurbished process. It's now taking machines that somebody might have just said, hey, you know what, just send them to the recycler, we're done with them, whatever. They're now being able to put those back onto the market, and and then when they're all said and done in, like, let's say the 4 to 5 years, we're going back to Bluum to say, hey, listen, let's recycle those out with you guys, let you guys do what you need to do with them again, and we're going to get the next piece.
Next piece up, yep.
it just keeps, it's a cycle, keeps moving. We're doing our part to reduce as much e-waste as we can.
Correct.
Like you mentioned, even with our shipping methods, right?
Right. Joe and I had a conversation recently. My biggest pet peeve is the number of boxes and cardboard that come in with devices. You get 650 Chromebooks in, you get the box, you get the plastic wrap, you get all the padding on the inside. It is insane.
The amount of waste.
Like, I literally, at my office, we filled the dumpster like 3 weeks in a row with one delivery. I felt bad for everybody involved in the process. Joe and I were having a conversation. Joe, you can explain it better than I. They've now come up with a new packaging and shipping process to help reduce waste as well.
Yep, it's our green shipping process. It's really simple. We just try to reduce as much waste as possible when we're sending you guys these Chromebooks. I mean, you rip open one of these boxes, you got paper, cardboard, plastic, all this stuff.
Yep.
For us, it's simple. It's a big box. It's got recyclable sleeves, and that's it.
That's easy.
It's as simple as it gets.
Keep it simple.
I do have a question. When we talked a little bit about the future with the HPs, you were talking about. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this program's going to blow up in a good way, right? And how is Bluum going to continually, I guess, handle the demand, right? Because I feel like with the price point, you can't go wrong with the warranty and everything. How will they, how will you sustain it, and how will you expand it, so to speak, Because I feel like people are going to be knocking down your doors for these A+ Chromebooks.
And especially as they're, schools are facing more and more
Right.
financial challenges.
Yep. No, that's a great question. And the way we do it is there's a conjunction of quite a few different methods of getting these devices in. First and foremost, we're working with districts just like yours across the nation to bring in their older Chromebooks. There's refresh cycles, there's school districts that have funding and that they can get rid of the HP 11 G8s and similar type models. We're taking them in. We're bringing them directly to our warehouse and refurbishing them right then and there. We also have quite a few contacts in the industry, and they're doing similar things, and we're getting these Chromebooks off of them as well. So there's a few avenues, that we're exploring in order to meet this demand, and we're very confident that we're going to be able to do that.
All right. I'm excited for A+ Chromebooks, but I don't have any money. But
Someone at the table does.
that's it. So, we can leave it at that. But I do, and I always like to start this question, are there any upcoming Bluum innovations or initiatives similar, or even if they're not similar to the A+ Chromebooks, that maybe we can kind of get a head start on and know? Like, is it a secret? Anything?
Oh, you want
the vault?
you want the top secret info.
We do.
I mean,
The confidential stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm able to disclose
I figured.
without getting in trouble with my bosses
It was
in
worth
leadership.
a shot. It was worth a shot.
But I can give you a little hint.
Okay.
And I'll see if I can word this properly. There's a major manufacturer that exists out there that a lot of people use that only sells directly to schools. They take a direct sell approach.
Okay. All right.
Okay? And they're changing that. Okay.
Effective 2025?
The timeline is uncertain. So
Okay.
I can tell you guys this with certainty. In Canada, it's already happened.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's I can't say anymore.
Understood.
But it's a company that has a fruit as its logo.
Hey, listen, I'll take a bite out of that.
I will. I think I already have. Oh, my goodness.
Joe, I don't want to. I mean, I would love to play poker with you after that. You just kind of gave away your hand.
No wonder that happened at the casino last night.
We now know why Joe is broke.
Well,
Give me
thanks
some
for
money,
sharing
please.
that.
You were peppering that very good. You were laying it very good, where you just teased it, and then you kind of, oh, here you go. Yeah.
Oh wait, was I not supposed to say that?
I got 2 and 7
Can we
off
cut
suit.
that,
Sorry.
please? Actually, it is public domain. So essentially what it is Apple has moved their market to utilize partners like Bluum in Canada.
That's great.
That's great.
They should have done it a long time ago.
Absolutely. So Canada and U.S. were the only 2 countries where Apple sold direct.
Interesting.
Every other country in the world, they utilize partners like Bluum to advocate and sell their products. So for whatever reason, they decided not to do that in North America, but things are changing. I think they're starting to see the effect it's been having on their sales overseas. And so Canada is the test pilot now.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
So we've got a ton of schools already interested. And in fact, what Apple's doing is saying, hey, guys, thank you for your business, but now you need to utilize Bluum. So they're actually pushing their existing customers over to us.
That's great.
So
That's awesome.
It's in Canada. It's live. We're on the go with it. And I suspect it won't be long until the U.S. follows suit.
Yeah, if the U.S. is the last one, right? I mean, out
Yeah.
of the European countries and now Canada on board, it's just a matter of time, like you said. So,
Yeah,
that's
we're looking
awesome.
forward to it.
That's awesome. All right, so let's just recap. I mean, we talked a lot about A+ Chromebooks, which is the hot new item, let's say. Joe, can you just let everybody know what else Bluum can offer as far as solutions, in the ed tech world?
Yeah, we want to be your partner. That's it. At the end of the day, we want to understand. We do understand, but we want to understand even more with regards to your ecosystem, some of the challenges you face, and work with us. We'll put some great solutions in your hands.
And it really lends itself to any product you can imagine. Joe and the team at Bluum can definitely get their hands on it and help you out with that solution.
We don't do pencils, though. Sorry.
But I will say,
Well, there'll be Apple pencils.
That's right. Coming soon.
Apple pencils.
hey, as a tech director, I will say I've come up and said, hey, I have a problem. Joe, what do you guys offer? What can you find me to help me solve this problem? Bluum, these guys will go out and they will find the product that'll help.
It's a solution.
And more times than not, they come back to you with multiple solutions. They say, hey, you can go this direction, this direction, or this direction. I've never had them come back to me and say, sorry, we don't have anything.
Well, I mean, even coming from our perspective as a tech integrator, when we get the products in, like we were talking about Class VR and so forth.
Yep.
Through that relationship, it really helped us out because we were able to get in touch through Bluum with the Class VR people, and really they got us set up and gave us and helped us with the resource to be able to implement it through. So when you talk about that PD element that you have, it is a partnership. You don't just give us the stuff.
Sure.
You give us the opportunity to be able to learn how to use it effectively.
Yeah, we'll work with you guys every step of the way. And one thing I always like to say to people when I'm talking to them, customers and new contacts alike, is I will do everything in my power to get you as much information as you need. And whether or not that involves Bluum being able to procure and get you that product or pointing you in the right direction, that's what I'll do for you guys. So it's a partnership even outside of the actual sale itself.
That's great. I appreciate it. Any final thoughts? Art, you got anything else?
Joe, just appreciate everything you guys do for us, and look forward to checking out this new program.
Yeah, likewise. You guys have been great. Always continue to be. So I appreciate you guys as well.
Dan?
Yep. Thank you for spending the time. That was great.
Joe, you're one of my best buddies. I love it.
Yeah,
all right?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the show here.
No, we can't thank
the
Bluum
setup.
enough. Yeah, we can't thank you guys enough for everything you do for us here, and obviously our partnership with Bluum that has just grown. Right? It bloomed over the years, right?
There we go. I like that.
I'm going to end on that cheesy note. So, till next time, tech hard, work smart, live in adventure.
Find Andrew on all socials at A Nicola Tech and Dan at WCSD Tech DR.